Today in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we're going to be talking about something that no one has been talking about, and that is New Japan's Bullet Club Wardogs. 4 members are going to be free agents. Plus, we're going to be talking a little bit of Kazuchika Okada. As you guys know, it was announced that Okada is leaving New Japan, and Tama Tonga just finished his match this morning, actually, and that is the end of where is he going. We will talk about that and much more. The Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One. I've been having issues all morning and trying to get this podcast going live, but been having issues with the Wi-Fi, and hopefully if it goes well on what I'm about to talk. So let's jump on this, and as you guys see that the title is Breaking Chains, the fate of Bullet Club Wardogs hang in the balance. As the reason why I pretty much put this up is because no one is talking about this. According to Wrestling Inc., which I'm not a big fan of the dirt sheet, Clark Connors, Alex Coughlin, actually, Drilla Maloney, and Gabe Kid, all of them, their contract ends this month. With the changing that's coming out of this Wrestle Kingdom, as you guys know, as the announcement that, every time you turn around, there's something going on in New Japan. You know that Tama Tonga already said after Wrestle Kingdom, after winning the Never Openweight title, that he was leaving New Japan at the end of this month. And I said to myself, well, I guess his title shot or his title reign is going to be short like the last one he had. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened with that. As this morning, Tama Tonga lost the Never Openweight title to Evil after Evil and a group of people interfere in the match, and there was a disqualification. Then they turned into a lumberjack match, and that's where Tama Tonga lost the title this morning, and he's gone of New Japan. Kazuchika Okada was announced this Thursday that he'd be gone after his match with, I believe, after his match with Hiroshi Tanahashi. That is it for him. Now, we're going to be talking about where I think they're going to land, but let's talk about something that no one is talking about, and it's the New Japan's Bullet Club faction, the Wardogs. Now, you know that in Bullet Club, and I brought this up a couple of months ago where I thought that maybe a Bullet Club civil war was going to happen because you have Balak Fale, who's been the oldest member since day one. He has his roguey army in New Zealand. Then you got Jay White and his Bullet Club Gold in there, so you see there that is going on, and then you got Bullet Club Wardogs, but then you have House of Torture in there, so it's like 4 factions all under the Bullet Club, banner. Now we're gonna talk about the Bullet Club Wardogs, as again, Clark Connors, Alex Coughlin, and Drilla Maloney and Gabe Kid. Their contract is up this month. Now, there's word around that New Japan, when New Japan pretty much do their contracts, they usually sign these guys usually 1 year or 2 years in the contract. They never give a big contract. They don't give 4 or 5 years like AEW and WWE. Usually it's a 1 year or 2 year contract. Now, as a Wrestle Kingdom, you notice that the whole terrain of New Japan Pro Wrestling right now has changed a lot. It has changed. And the one thing I can say is now with Hiroshi Tanahashi as the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, things has changed. There's a younger generation in New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. I was watching this podcast yesterday where a fan said that New Japan is dying. New Japan is not dying. New Japan's been around since 1972. It hasn't died then. It's not going to die now. Okay. This happens with promotions when the elders and the big stars already finished doing everything in one promotion. Now they want to go somewhere else where there's more money, where there's, how you call it, they wrestle different opponents. Now, as far as the Clark Connors, the Drilla Maloney already had been in WWE as an NXT. I don't know what was his name, but he was in NXT at one point. Gabe Kid and Alex Coughlin, these are guys who pretty much were young lions. They were on the Shibata's dojo. So we don't know where they go. I don't think that New Japan is going to go and let all these four guys go. What David Finlay right now is the global champion, and Bullet Club has been around in New Japan for 13 years. Now the Bullet Club version in AEW has looked stale, very stale, for the simple fact that Juice Robinson is hurt and he had a back injury or back surgery, whatever. So he's been out, but they're trying to bring him back. Most likely he'll probably be back sooner than what you think. So he'll be back. But the Bullet Club right now in AEW, the Bullet Club Go just won the Ring of Honor 6-man tag belts. And what I'm looking at that is pretty much most likely they are going to go and the 6-man Ring of Honor tag belt are going to get unified with the AEW 6 trios title. So I could see Acclaim losing the belts to the Bullet Club and having these guys, the AEW World Trios Champion with Gun Club and Jay White, where these guys are going to think they're going to all team up together to go against your Undisputed Kingdom, and Jay White is going to turn on Acclaim, and they're going to win those titles. And why there has not been another member in Bullet Club Go? For the simple fact that probably they don't know who's going to bring in. But there's a possibility. But now with Tama Tonga leaving New Japan. Now, I'm thinking more maybe Tama Tonga may end up in WWE for the simple fact because his father wrestled in WWE and whatnot. Now, do I see him in AEW? And if he comes to AEW, most likely he's going to be part of the Bullet Club Go. Regardless if him and Jay White has had history and all that stuff, I mean, why not? Juice Robinson and Jay White had a history, and now they're in the same team. You know what I'm saying? You know, why not bring Tama Tonga, a founding father of Bullet Club from 2013, along with Finn Balor at that time, who was known as Prince Devitt, Carl Anderson and Bad Luck Fale, the originals fathers of Bullet Club Bullet Club. I mean, why not bring Tama Tonga in? But the reason I say there's a possibility that Tama Tonga might go to WWE for the simple fact that, one, WWE was interested in bringing Tama Tonga in as of last year, somewhere in April. So, and he talked about it. I don't know if he's interested if going in or not as part of the bloodline. I mean, it will look stupid to me if he joins the bloodline for the simple fact he's from Tonga. He's not a Samoan. So why would he come in? I don't know. But then again, because of Haku or Ming, whatever you want to call it, his father, being a guy who was in WWE for so many years, why not him go to WWE? You know what I'm saying? Now, again, that's one possibility. But Bullet Club itself looks like they may not be around within, I say, another 2 years. If the possibility that Alex Coughlin, Gabe Kidd, Drilla Maloney, and Clark Connors don't sign with New Japan Pro Wrestling, what's left of Bullet Club in New Japan? House of Torture right now, that's a sub-faction of Bullet Club. Then you still have Chase Owens, who's part of Bullet Club, and I totally forgot he's part of Bullet Club. Okay, he's been roaming around doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see New Japan not signing all those four young wrestlers and because right now, to me, New Japan looks like they doing everything for for the young generation and the young wrestlers now. I mean, think about it. They lost Jay White. They lost Will Ospreay. Now they're losing Okada. That's 3 big names they're losing and whatnot. Who's going to step up? Naito is the world champion. I don't know. Maybe Sonata. I can't say Sonata being a big face in New Japan. He had a title reign, which it was kind of boring. It didn't really nothing happened with him. He wasn't pushed like he was supposed to after all these years. He put a lot of great matches and all this, and now he loses the belt. Now what? You still have Shota Umino, a young talent in there. You have Sushi. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a new generation right now. If you notice, Goto and Joshi, whatever his name is, they lost the IWGP Tag Team titles to the Guerrillas of Destiny, which is Hikuleo and Phantasmo. And they using that name as the Guerrillas of Destiny, but you can see that it's not. It's going to be strange for people to say that New Japan is dying. It's not dying. How is it dying? Like you want the same guy, same old Japanese wrestlers in there. This was messed up New Japan years ago, in the ending of the 1990s, because they kept pushing the same people over and over. Muda, who was it? Chono, Kazuchika Sasaki. They kept pushing the same guys over and over again. And next thing you know, New Japan that ended up having an All Japan working relationship when they had to bring All Japan wrestlers in there. You had to bring Noah wrestlers in there. And next thing you know, there was a very slow turnaround for New Japan. New Japan was not the same and whatnot. And that's what Tanahashi did in 2007, I think, or 6, became the face of New Japan. Okay. Nakamura was in there. You know what I'm saying? At that time. You had all these people in there. And now, people talking about New Japan is dying because they just lost Jay White, Okada, and now Ospreay, and it looks like Bullet Club may not be around anymore. I don't see anything wrong with that, but again, I don't see New Japan not signing these guys. And I'm talking about Alex Coughlin, Gabriel Kid, Drilla Maloney, and Clark Connors. Even though a lot of people say, "Oh, I like Clark Connors," listen, Clark Connors is still young. He's been on it around 2 or 3 years he was in the dojo. You know what I'm saying? Look where he's at. He won already the IWGP Tag Team Champions with Drilla Maloney. They held those belts for almost 6 months. Nobody could beat these guys. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. They just lost the tag team belts to Catch 22, which is TJP and Francisco Akira, and now they're feuding with the United Empire. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's nothing wrong with what's going on there with New Japan. It's just people are not talking about that. So why not talk about that? That people are sleeping. Next thing you know, when it happened, you're like, "Oh, I didn't know that Bullet Club broke up," or "I didn't know that Clark Connors was a free agent." You know what I'm saying? The Bullet Club Wardogs, it will be perfect for them to come to AEW as a working relationship since AEW and New Japan do the working relationship. Why not? I still think that this has got to happen. Bullet Club Go versus Bullet Club Wardogs. The winner of that gets becomes the leader of all the subdivision or whatever you want to call it. You can't just after 13 years of Bullet Club being around, you just could be like, "Oh, it's over." They had lasted more than any other faction in wrestling. Okay, they had lasted more than NWO, DX, and you can name them. All these other factions that have been around, they had lasted the longest. They're gonna make what 11 years. You know what I'm saying? 11 years. They said 11 years. Yeah, 11 years. Because 2013, that's when this first started. So, as far as Kazuchika Okada, and I love it because WWE fans were like, "Oh, Okada would be great," and this and this and that. Let's be realistic. A lot of these wrestling fans don't know who the hell is Okada. They probably never seen Okada wrestle. But because they don't want AEW to get Okada, they'll say stuff like that. Oh, we would love to have Okada. Same way when they were like, oh, we would love to have Ospreay. You've probably never seen Ospreay wrestle. You've probably seen one or two, but you haven't seen all his matches. See, there's a difference between having true wrestling fans who watch not just one promotion and watch all the promotions than just a fan that's loyal and is tribal, is into that tribalism shit, and they just talk because they want to talk because they hate the competition. You know, it just amazes me. But if Okada was to go to WWE, let's talk about that. Right now, do you think that they will acknowledge all the stuff that he has done in Japan? Maybe they'll acknowledge it for here and there, but he's not going in there to beat a Roman Reigns or to beat a Seth Rollins, which to me, Seth Rollins right now is hurt and whatnot. Or he's going to beat, let me see, one of their favorites, Gunther. Yeah, people talking about, I would love to see Gunther versus Okada. Okay, but is it going to happen? For one, I don't see Okada going to WWE. Simple fact, he goes over there. Who's going to give him a match besides Gunther, besides Seth Rollins, besides the AJ? And I don't want to hear about them AJ style match. That we already seen AJ style versus Okada. If you haven't, that's your problem. 10 years ago, AJ, when AJ first went into Japan, it was Okada who he beat for the IWGP title and whatnot. And Okada got it back probably a couple of months later. Okay. So it's not like it's a dream match because I seen it. It's not a dream match to me. I seen it. And then to top it off, if you think about it, so you got AJ, they want AJ Styles. You got a Seth Rollins, they might give him a run for his money, and Roman Reigns. Who else is there? And Gunther. Who else is there that could give Okada a run for the money? That could be in his legendary status that he is in Japan. Nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And number one, I'm sure that number one, Okada's going to look at it like, okay, I've been in some crazy wars in New Japan and whatnot. 30, 40, 50. I mean, he had an hour and 3 minutes with Kenny Omega in June of 2017 and whatnot. And they had a hell of a matches, 56 minutes the first time they wrestled each other. Okada had been through hell and back in wars in New Japan. You think that he is not going to go to AEW for the simple fact he's going to get his money and he don't have to wrestle as much as he was wrestling before. Those tours in Japan take a lot out of you. And what better way to get paid for your skill and what you are in the business than just work for AEW? Probably you work 4 times a month and get paid a lot of money. If you go to WWE, you're going to be wrestling in house shows, you're going to be wrestling here, and you're going to be traveling here, traveling there. Even though, I don't know how I hear, because I know supposedly his wife is a big name in Japan, and she's like voiceover or whatever it is. But I don't know how's that going to affect him. But to me, I feel like he will do better in AEW. Simple fact, one, you will see him against Kenny Omega again, and they're not going to disappoint. Him and Will Ospreay, they're not going to disappoint. And him and Jay White, they're not going to disappoint. So all these matches that I just told you, these matches you could see here in the United States, and you can watch it anytime in any show. Instead of trying to get New Japan World and try to stream that, whatever. But of course, you're going to have the, the AEW haters and the people who love, talking crap about AEW, not wanting Okada to go there. Okada's been there already. Okada, first of all, Okada versus Daniels got to happen again. It's got to be a third match. They tied. So it's not like, they're not going to do. But a lot of things are happening in New Japan right now with the fact, again, with the Bullet Club. And the reason I put the Bullet Club was nobody's talking about that. People have seemed to forgotten about Bullet Club. And the only reason Bullet Club is still in people's ear is because of Bullet Club Go and AEW. Nobody's really paying attention to what's going on with Bullet Club Wardogs in Japan because, I don't know. People just, these are the only facts. And I like the way somebody told me that they don't like this version of Bullet Club Wardogs or Bullet Club Wardogs because the guys are too small or they don't like David Finlay. First of all, David Finlay, his character now is better than what he was when he was coming up as a young lion, when he was feuding with Osprey and Jay White in Japan. This is that rebel version or the rebel gimmick that he had is great. I love it because he had to look better as a wrestler. He's upgraded his wrestling skills and he looks phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And him with all those four guys, Maloney, Coughlin, Kid, and Connors, he turned them to the same way. And their motto is bring me bodies and bring me titles. Compared to what the Bullet Club was before on the Jay White, where it was Jay White, I'm the world champion, I'm your leader, and that's it. Everybody else gets lost in the shuffle. Now, I'm not saying that that's Jay White's fault. It's the way New Japan, and whoever thought that this was a good idea to have it that way, because it's always been like that. It's always been about the world champion. If it wasn't Jay White, it was Kenny Omega. If it wasn't Kenny Omega, it was AJ Styles. It was AJ Styles. It was always surrounding on the main guy. Now it's different. Now you have David Finlay still the main guy, but he's saying he wants these guys to, put people out, take them out, and then win titles also and bring titles. And they have done that. So I don't see, every day I check to make sure that I'm not reporting anything wrong, but as of right now, as a Wrestling Inc. and Wrestling Inc., I'm not a big fan of that dirt sheet, but that's what came in reporting that all those guys are now going to be free agents by the end of the month. Already weeks again. We're already seeing that Tama Tonga is done today. He lost the Never Open Weight Championship. I don't know where he's going to end up. I have a feeling he'll end up in WWE because of conversations he had with WWE in the past. Okada, I see him in AEW. I don't see him going to no WWE. And those who claim that, we want Okada because Okada, I could bet you 98% of these people have not seen this man wrestle. And I'm sure when he was in New Japan, they didn't care to watch him. End of story. So, but that is it for me today, guys. That is it for me today. And finally, I was able to do this. And let me know what you guys think. Hit me on my comments on my YouTube channel. Let me know what you think about this video. Where do you think Okada is gonna land? Where do you think Tama Tonga is gonna end up at? Do you think Bullet Club Wardogs are still gonna be around or whatever? Let me know. Let me know what you think. And I will definitely will reply to anything you guys bring up on my comments. So that is it for me today, guys. If you want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also check out my podcast store, tcwr.veryinkpressive.com. Again, that's tcwr.veryinkpressive.com, and check out all the hoodies, shirts, hats, you name it. Everything is in there. Just check it out and let me know what you think. Also, I'm also on TikTok, so you get to see my little shorts, little clips of the video and whatnot. Again, let me know what you guys think and whatnot. Again, I definitely will be here telling you how I feel about certain things. It's just because you see one thing that somebody told me that I was a reporter, and I'm gonna bring that up because I'm a keeper. Just because the title says Chokeslam Wrestling Report does not mean I'm a reporter. Okay, I ain't giving you my opinions and my thoughts on certain topics, and like I give you right now with the Bullet Club Wardog situation. So I give you that, and that's it. I'm not a reporter. I'm not here to bring you news. I'm giving you my opinion about certain things that I'm seeing through Dirt Sheet, 5 Foot Select, and all these conversation and whatnot. But it's going to be very interesting next week because next week Again, you could also check my audio podcast that I have also on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music. This week on the audio podcast, I will be talking about what's going to happen with Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins is supposed to come on Monday night. We're going to see the state of the world title, if he's going to give it up, or is it Damian Priest going to come out of nowhere and cash in on him while he's doing this commentating or whatever he's going to do. And if the title is good, if that's not the case, where Damian Priest is not cashing in, is the World Heavyweight title going to be up for grabs at the Royal Rumble? So, as this is the part where I don't like what I'm about to say. This is not the way Cody Rhodes is going to win the damn World Heavyweight title. So we'll see. And knowing WWE, they'll probably, we'll give the world title to Cody, and then he'll lose it at WrestleMania to CM Punk. That can happen because CM Punk is supposed to get the main event. So be on the lookout for that. A Chokeslam Wrestling Report audio podcast available in Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, and let me know what you guys think. So until then, guys, I will definitely see you next week with more Chokeslam Wrestling Report info and stories, and definitely continue to support. Thank you for everything. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that notification bell and whatnot for new uploads. Subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that thumbs up. That will help me greatly, and helps the channel definitely greatly. So again, thanks for all my supporters, and thanks for who's listening right now. Until then, guys, I will see you guys next week.